All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends your time and your location. You are joining us today at Eastern News 24. I see the by Nkonye Chidi Nyazelo. All right, this is Eastern News 24. Beba sino weteru nyabo nukoze di oke mpa. Basta makabi fene aboti no bodo. Unna no kosi ada. Fuel obuzi 1,250. Unna no kosi ada. Basta maka go and years old kasi chiche. Neme no bodo no nimia. Ya kaina utelunu na Eastern News 24 update utelunu ta biko genu nti kun ni faji makia we bia odi nnukwu mkpa na onye ọbụla ya ege ntị ka ị mara ka isi aka echi akwa ị na-aghọta maka ife anyị ga na-agba mbọ ka anyị na-enye unu bụ current update bụ ife na-emenụ kunu na-achọpụta ihe ndị a na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya so ya ekwedo unu nkwa so ihe ege n'ihe Edwin crack kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị iwuruchi nke taa ị ga-esi drop right feature n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ya bụ ife. All right, over to you, sir.
For the past 1 week, when you left, I've not been very well. I've been down. You can see my hand, gadgets in my hands and so on. But this is a very, very important issue affecting the interests of this country, not the survival of this country. And I think that whether I'm in bed or not, I must come out to add a word to it. So the purpose of this meeting today, press conference, is for us to discuss more about the danger facing this country. Not River State alone, not Niger Delta alone, but the whole of this country. When one man who is a minister of state, a position many of us have held 50 years ago, now feels that President Tinubu had given power to insult people, to intimidate people, to do whatever thing he likes, to breach the constitution of Nigeria. Not only that, to intimidate people, arrest them. And today, after the meeting, the Kangaroo Congress in River State, he now threatened the PDP governors, an organization he belonged to before for the 8 years, where he committed all his atrocities and so on, with the support he received from his colleagues, who were thinking that he was doing the right thing. So, I prepared a brief to be read to you. After that, I will make my little contribution.
Open letter to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetekun. My dear IGP, arrest Nyesom Wike now with a warrant of arrest. I want to begin by saluting your continued service of our country and that of the very many gallant officers of the Nigerian Police Force who daily stay awake to keep our nation safe. However, I want to add my voice to that of millions of Nigerians who are incensed at some recent development in the polity, which require your urgent attention. That is, with respect to the recent open threat by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, who happens to be the former governor of Rivers State, to set fire in some other states. As your men who were in the audience would have reported directly to you, Nyesom Wike made this open threat to other 12 PDP governors while attending a called Bad Congress of the PDP in Port Harcourt on Saturday, 31st August 2024. There is a High Court ruling in Port Harcourt in suit number PAC/2282/CS 2024 against that exercise. Instead of vacating that ruling through an appeal, Nyesom Wike's group went to another court of coordinate jurisdiction in Abuja and got a ruling to hold the Congress. This is a completely wrong court process, and should not be allowed to stand. For as long as the first court ruling is persisting, the PDP Congress held by Wike and his men remain a nullity. During this illegitimate PDP Congress, without caution and self-restraint, Wike openly voiced that he will ensure that the other governors do not have peace in their states for their support for the incumbent Rivers State Governor, Sasin Fubara, his SY protege, with whom he is having a running battle. In his words, now trending in Nigeria, just in case your men did not inform you, and I quote, "Let me assure all of you, not while we live will anybody take away the structure of PDP from us." But let me tell people, I hear some PDP governors who say they will take over the structure and give to somebody. I pity those governors because I will put fire in their states. After many attacks, he continued, "Whether you are from Bauchi, I don't give a damn. Whichever state you are from, as far as I know, that you are trying to put your hand in Rivers State, your hand will get burnt and you will never sleep in your state." End of quote. My dear IG, at well over 97 years of age and having held various positions in government, including being a minister of over 50 years ago, I am shocked that a public officer who is an appointee of a serving president can descend to this level. When we worked under General Yakubu Gowon GCFR in the Federal Executive Council, the code of conduct which we were expected to keep, especially as it pertained to being instrument of public order, was at the highest level. No wonder three of my cabinet colleagues, General Murtala Mohammed, Alhaji Shehu Shagari, Olusegun Obasanjo, all went on to become heads of state and president of Nigeria, while the rest of us continued serving the country at the Senate or as governors in our various states. A flagrant disrespect on the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, who appointed him, and a threat to public peace. Even more serious is the fact that this is a violation of the laws of the country as it stands now. Wike as a lawyer should have known better, as one who has been in the same profession for more than 60 years. And as an elder statesman, I know that one of the greatest offenses that can be committed is to incite anarchy and threaten constituted authority of the state, as it is a sure means of inciting and causing unfavorable response in those states, especially amongst the youths, against the government in power, either at a federal or state level. As a matter of fact, what Wike has done is a form of treason, as is inciting his supporters and those in the other states to rise up against constituted authority. Provide protection for public officers from harm, intimidation, and violence. Furthermore, assault on public officers, Prohibition Act of 1985 again details clear penalties for those who directly threaten public officers. Also, the Violence Against Persons Protection Act 2015 shuns violence including physical harm or, as an instant case, putting fire against public officers. Not least is the Police Act of 2020. What all this shows is the fact that this particular minister, Wike, has gone overboard in his macabre dance. As we always say, nobody is above the law, and the law must take its course. If you could, in the past, arrest Sowore for similar or less implicating threats against public peace and public officials, if you are right now leading prosecution in law court against people who participated in End Bad Governance protests, what are you waiting to act in the case of Wike? Remember that you are under oath to uphold the law as a serving Inspector General of Police, including the fact that you will not be partial. I am sure your PhD degree in Peace and Security Studies at Al-Hikmah University in Kwara State, which you earned and defended, has also taught you clearly that no citizen of the country has a right to threaten the peace of the country and be treated with kid gloves. I want to deviate a bit to perhaps educate you on the so-called structure Wike has been insisting on holding on to. Today you are the inheritor of a structure which goes back to Louis Edet, the first indigenous Inspector General of Police of the country. Since then, there have been 21 Inspector Generals of Police, you are the 22nd. How many of these 21 come daily to intervene in your work, claiming that it is their structure? Similarly, virtually all the former governors of the 32 states are either ministers or serving senators. How will the country be if they are all talking about structures which they left behind and threatening to put fires if those structures are inherited by their successors or the incumbents? In Rivers State itself, the truth is that structures have existed, and in order to grasp this issue, there is need to go back a bit into history. Rivers State was created on 27th May 1967 as one of the first 12 states created when the nation moved from regionalism with 4 regions: Eastern, Northern, Western, and the Midwest. In no particular order, no state before Wike was born on 15th December 1967. Incidentally, the man who muted the idea of state creation in the country to the then head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, was a Rivers State man, the late Pere Harold Dakpabriye. Until his death, he was the leader of the Niger Delta region, and I was his deputy. Today, by the grace of God, I am the leader, in addition to my other roles in the country. Pere Dakpabriye did not hang his life on Rivers State because he muted the idea for its creation. He did not claim the political structure. In addition, some of the other original owners of the structures in the state are still alive. Having himself benefited from late Chief Melfred Okilo, Second Republic Governor and Secretary to State Government, the oldest serving governor is Chief Rufus Ada George, who held sway from 1992 to 1993, during which Sir Peter Odili was his deputy governor. Odili inherited this structure and served as governor from 1999 to 2007. Upon completion of his mandate, he handed over the same structure to Chief Rotimi Chibika Amechi, who served as governor from 2007 to 2015. Thereafter, this same structure was handed over to Barrister Nyesom Wike. It may interest you to know that it was during this process that the present Minister of FCT, who was a young lawyer and struggling to make a living in our motor parks, showed great efficiency in managing the motor parks in his local government. So he was recommended by then serving Senator John Umbata to be made the local government chairman during the tenure of Odili. Thereafter, he served Amechi as chief of staff before the same Amechi recommended him to Goodluck Jonathan to be a minister. The question I want to ask, if all these persons I mentioned come to claim to own the structure, where we be as a country, and where would be Rivers State for Wike to tell his supporters that no one will take their structure, not why they live, is a deep-rooted incitement capable of causing anarchy. Let me advise you that Rivers State is too strategic to be left in a chaotic state. As the oil headquarters of the country, this continuous state of threat to peace, including the fact that your men have taken over all the local government area headquarters, constitute a threat to peace and security in the entire Niger Delta. Even more is the fact that the same Minister of FCT, whose interests your men are protecting, has gone beyond Rivers State, in now threatening every other state with PDP at the helm of affairs. Nigerians demand nothing of you but to arrest this man and get him to retract his open threat of anarchy. You have no other choice than to re-examine your conscience. Wike also said, because, and I quote, because I heard they got some money from signature bonus, and so their heads are getting big, that he will put hand in my own state. Prepare, because I have the capacity to also do the same thing in your state. End of quote. He is accusing the PDP state governors that they are using signature bonus monies given to them to take over his political structure. Who gave him the structure? How did he get the monies he is spending? He is alleged to have acquired several properties, including the Hyper City spread across Port Harcourt. One of the branches of the Hyper City is built on a state-owned land which was used as abattoir. He evacuated people from there and acquired it for himself. Where did he get the money? Can Wike show the status of his finances and wealth before he ventured into politics? Can he show his financial status and wealth since he started holding political office? How did he build his private home, his edifice, which is equated to a state house annex in his village in Obiakpo? What about his properties in Abuja? Today he is boasting that he has the capacity to set fire in state governed by constituted authorities. What carelessness! Because nobody questions the sources of wealth of people in this country. So, one man can amass state resources to himself, and we have the temerity to threaten states in the federation. I ask, are we in Banana Republic? At this juncture, it is very appropriate to ask Barrister Nyesom Wike to account for the various sums of money belonging to Rivers State that he donated to various organizations, women groups, government, etc. He has some time ago boasted that he purchased forms for all the contestants vying for the various political offices in Rivers State. How did he get the money? There's nothing that Wike has not done in his attempt to sabotage the government of Sim Fubara and install the former Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Manti Samawule, his brother, as governor, but all have failed. He arranged a meeting which he personally attended with the former 27 members of the State Assembly. It was at that meeting that the notice of impeachment was issued against Governor Sim Fubara at an ungodly hour of about 7 a.m. On 11th December 2023, the House met very early in the morning. It was here that the 27 members openly defected to the APC, singing APC song of solidarity and waving APC flags. They were received and welcomed by Tony Okosha, who was the caretaker chairman of the party, APC Rivers State. But when it dawned on Wike and his men that they have goofed, that they had shot themselves on the foot, they want to turn the nation constitution upside down, Section 109G is very clear. Up till this moment, they are in court shopping for one judgment or the other, one ruling or the other. Wike has devised another state in Rivers State with him as the governor and the 27 members, his House of Assembly members. Will this be possible? Definitely not. I also wish to use this medium to wholeheartedly, on behalf of our people, hail and congratulate the PDP Governors Forum under the able, courageous, and competent leadership of Governor Bala Mohammed, Governor of Bauchi State. I recall vividly how the much adored governor, who as a serving senator, was recommended by his fellow serving senators to be appointed Minister of the FCT due to his survey acumen and courage for justice and fair play displayed on the floor of the Senate. As Minister of FCT, he never used his position to harass, insult, and or torment residents of Abuja, particularly those dealing in property and estates. This sagacity Governor Bala Mohammed has once again, together with his colleagues, the PDP governors, displayed as chairman of the PDP Governors Forum on its recent action on the Rivers State crisis, a PDP state. I reproduce here under part of what the Director General of the Forum, Dr. Emmanuel Agbo, said in the Forum support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State, as published in Vanguard newspaper of 4th September 2024, and I quote, "Governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have berated the Minister of the FCT, Chief Nyesom Wike, for threatening to set their state on fire. Should they meddle in the affairs of the party in Rivers State? The statement and threat to peaceful coexistence made by Wike to put fire in PDP-controlled states are unbridled, irresponsible, and without ambiguity totally unacceptable, as it undermines effort to build and maintain peace, cohesion, collaboration, and mutual respect amongst leaders and members of the party. It is rather unfortunate that this is coming from someone who was once a member of this highly revered forum as a former governor. The forum has always maintained a touch one, touch off philosophy and individually and collectively stand by and support each other no matter the circumstances. A tradition Wike tremendously enjoyed in his days of travail as governor of Rivers State. End of quote. Like recounted by the PDP Governors Forum, through its Director General, Nyesom Wike, the present Minister of FCT, was an active member of the PDP Governors Forum. I am sure Nigerians will well recall how he arrogated to himself so much power from the Ali Modu Sheriff / Ahmed Makarafi National Party chairmanship saga to the issue of holding the party's convention in Rivers State. Right Honorable Austin Okpara, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Senator Lee Maimba, Dr. Abiye Sekibo, former Minister of Transportation, Sir Celestin Omeya, who was once the governor of Rivers State until he was removed by the Supreme Court, and other members to come out and defend their party and their state, using all constitutional means, especially now that the Court of Appeal has set aside the decision barring them from attending National Executive Council NEC meetings. As a result of a case brought against them in court in Abuja instituted to prevent them from attending caucus and NEC meetings, for them to show strong support and solidarity for Governor Simini Alaye Fubara, who, by the laws of their party, is the leader of PDP Rivers State. No one, neither the National Working Committee, NWC of the party or Nyesom Wike, can or should be allowed to change arbitrarily or go against the rules of the party. The party constitution is supreme. In talking about Wike's revolt against constituted authorities, it will be remembered that Wike has disobeyed several Supreme Court judgments. I also call on all groups, the Ogonis, the Ikweres, the Ijos, the Eshes, women, youths, men, and all justice and truth-loving indigenes of Rivers State to stand up against this inordinate ambition of one man to own the state structure. This will also motivate all truth and justice-loving Nigerians within and outside the country, including the PDP state governors, to join to nip this evil in the bud. I wish you the best and extend my fatherly blessings to you. Chief Dr. Ike Clark, OFRCON.
Thank you. Thank you. You will remember on the 24th of May this year, I addressed a letter in this hall, open letter, delivered to the Inspector General of Police to see that government policemen, public officers were not being used illegally in supporting Wike and his men. Up to today, I've not had anything from him, and I still believe that he has not changed. That's why I said he should now arrest him with warrant. And because Wike believes that the only person in this country today that's above him is Mr. President. He's free to insult anybody, to do whatever thing he likes. But if you go with a warrant of arrest, he will not be able to escape from it. Well, everything I wanted to say about the Inspector General of Police has been said there. I'm calling on him, a very respected, intelligent officer. He has all the qualities to be one, to step out in the interest of this country, not to allow personal relationship to undermine the Constitution of Nigeria, which Wike has breached. and nobody is talking to him. Mr. President took an oath to defend this constitution. But today, he's having himself alone cannot breach the constitution of Nigeria because section 1 of the constitution is very clear on that. Every decision of the constitution binds everybody, every authority, including Mr. President. But for him today to run a blind eye and allow one of his ministers to make a mess of this country. Today, ministers that have been automatically removed by the Constitution by moving to APC are still parading themselves as members of the House of Assembly, with the Speaker acting, harassing the governor, taking him to all sorts of courts. Today, Wike is controlling all the judiciary. He does whatever. He had one judge, Motoshaw, who is giving all the decisions. But the situation is very clear. Section 109 of the Constitution is very clear. PDP is intact. PDP held its next meeting on the 18th of April. Wike attended. Governor Fubra attended. The chairman of board of trustees attended. The acting chairman attended. So where's the breakage? The secretary attended. But today, Wike is saying that they are still members. What have they done? They now said that the 27 members did not properly resign from PDP. They were still members of the House. It is this case of retaining these people as members of PDP that they wrote a letter to the Court of Appeal, counteracting the one written by the legal advisor of the party. What a devious fellows. Wike is already dancing naked in the marketplace, with one leg in APC, with the other leg in PDP. But he had failed and will be consumed. Could you imagine? Wike recently insulted the members of the board of trustees, starting with the chairman, Senator Wambara, who was number 3 man in Nigeria during Obasanjo's time, was the president of the Senate. When Wike was in school, or he was just doing some little jobs. He called him after that conference meeting. The chairman of the board of trustees, Wambara, stood up to make a speech at the next meeting that they should look into all cases of infringements, people around the party. 5 days after, Wambara received a letter written in red ink by Wike to him. And he said, Wambara, Haba, how would your late wife feel now that you are embarrassing yourself and that of your family? You are a disgrace to your generation. The River State issues matter will consume you, in writing. And I've already secreted. Recently again, I encouraged them to meet the governor in River State, and they did. About 12 of them, past governors, past senators, and so on. They were all there, and it was agreed that the board of trustees should try everything to bring them to bring the party together. Wike said he will never attend any meeting of the board of trustees. They are pariahs, that they and so forth, abusing everybody. And some people have been saying that, oh, there should be a reconciliation committee. To do what? So I thought Wike has gone beyond. He has something else about this structure. Whether his own structure is money, he's stored in River State, which he must protect, or something else. Otherwise, as properly explained by Chief Ada George, he spoke to me that he was, as I said in paper, that he was a member of Okilo's government, the first civilian governor. When Okilo left, he became the governor and he inherited the structures. When he left, Odili was his deputy. He handed over them to him. But meanwhile, Warning Bata came, as I explained in my paper, that Wike should be taken as the chairman of Biafra local government council because he was working very hard as a sergeant bail lawyer there, collecting rent. And it was made by Odili because he couldn't make it before the coup took place. Now, this same man was handed over the structures to Amechi. Amechi then Wike became Amechi's chief of staff, who took over the structures when Jonathan and his wife imposed Wike on our people as governor of River State. So he is saying now that he will protect these structures until his death. But he had earlier told us that the main reason for keeping the structures is because he wanted to give, President Tinubu to win in 2027. If he's saying that he will choose the structures until he's dead, it means there's something more than that. That's why I'm calling on the police, Inspector General of Police, to investigate. Nobody is above the law. Otherwise, Nigeria will soon be facing additional trouble. The youths of those 13 states are not going to keep quiet and allow Wike to burn their states. And then once again, I'm calling all the people who says that Fubara is the leader of PDP in River State to come out. Particularly those that are mentioned, the Secondus and others, who used to sit with Wike, dine with him, eat with him, compromise every aspect of the state with him. To lead, come out, get people to follow the governor. Otherwise, it's not enough to say, who is Wike? So, I'm appealing to everybody in the River State. Organizations, come out and stand by the governor. No violence, nothing. But unfortunately, when I got back to Abuja, I held a press conference, and Punch correspondent asked me a question to assess the corruptibility of these presidents, starting with Obasanjo, which I did. As Obasanjo was now, it's true, he brought the FCC, he brought ICPC, but today he's one of the most corrupt presidents in this world. I said so. I said, but Yaradua, man was sick, but He never wanted Ibori and others who sponsored his election to be persecuted and to be sent to court. But he did nothing. He was clean, man. As for Jonathan, nice man. But I do not think Jonathan had the political will to face this type of dangerous corrupt practices in Nigeria now. And Mr. Benabati took it against me that I betrayed Jonathan, that tomorrow I will call the Buhari my son. So I answered back, and the whole thing was settled. But I said in that meeting that anything affecting the interest of Nigeria, I will fight, whether I'm inside the party or not. Did I not say so? I said so. So my son, what I'm saying today is outside party politics. Affects the people of Rivers State, affects the people of Nigeria. And while I'm still alive, I must make my contribution to stop it. Because I fear only God, no human being. I respect people. This is our government. Whether we elected him or not, we elected him. And therefore we must support. In supporting, we must be listened to. When Nigerians, nobody is a first-class citizen and nobody is a second-class citizen. So at my 97, I'm going to 98. I'll continue to talk. I've done my homework. I'm about 60 years at the bar. Even though I'm not a son because of I was doing government job. I was a brilliant lawyer. So, I've done my homework. There are various laws of this country. I've even got some senior lawyers to help me who have now discovered that Wike has breached a number of Nigerian laws, public laws, and so on. He has committed crime. And for him to call on to say that he will burn states belonging to PDP governors and so on, it's treasonable. It's treasonable. All of that totality, Wike has committed treason. Is it Shawari that committed treason by saying, I called for revolution in Nigeria? Is that what you are saying? Where did he say it? In what ground? At what ground? What impact did he make? But here is a serving minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria saying that he will burn the states of his colleagues, he will burn their hands and they won't sleep again in their houses. He will do everything to disorganize the governments of those states. Nobody, no governor, no minister can go to that extent. It's a breach of the Constitution. So, he has committed a series of offenses. He will come out after some time. The Peking ways they make Mama not sleep, he not go sleep. Thank you.
Ndị be anyị nwadalụ nenu ka efi were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife nọ n'iru akwụkwọ ihe Edwin Kragko n'iru akwụkwọ ka ife were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife dropụrụ anyị uche gị ife iche n'ụdị nke gị na Eastern News 24 bụ ebe si were wetara onye bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa. Ndị be anyị kebesịanụ ume Igbo.